Hello, greetings and welcome. I am in Cambodia visiting my brother in Southeast Asia and his family, and we are presently at an elephant sanctuary here. These elephants weigh about 3 tons and they eat every day about 300 kilograms of food. To give you a rough idea, I'm about 85 kilograms. So what's that, about 4 times of me in their food, which seems humongous. 300 kilograms worth of food a day, but I just thought, well, how much food do I eat? That's about 10, they eat about 10% of their body weight a day in food. I guess that's not too similar to what I eat. Do I eat 8 kilograms of food a day? Possibly, including water. I think that's about similar to what we are. These elephants in Cambodia, there are about 500 elephants. 400 roughly are in the wild and jungles. About 50 are in sanctuaries like this, and 50 are being used in farms and by the local people out in the hills. They're like the Cambodian tractors. They're used to pull things in the fields, for transport as well. In the UK, we don't have horses. Well, sorry, we have horses, but not elephants. And in here they have elephants, but not horses. So you'll see on some of their elephants, they have a little tag, a little hole in their ear, just here, where they put a tag on there, similar to what we would do with cows and sheep, little tags on here to identify them. These animals are being used less and less for ceremonies and by the local people. So instead of just getting rid of them and letting them loose, because they can't be let loose in the wild because they've been tamed, then what they do is they sell them or give them to sanctuaries like this, where they will be looked after and fed, and they are free to roam around as they wish. They can do whatever they want, and the tourists like me, we come pay and we say hello to them, and we help feed them, and we follow them around. These elephants, if they wish, they could go, they could leave, or they could go wherever they want, but they choose to stay here because they know they're going to get fed, and they know they're going to get looked after. They have a little keeper with them who looks after them and makes sure they're safe and they're well kept. But these elephants could go if they want. There's no chains, we can't ride them. Some of these animals have been really badly looked after previously. So there's one here that used to have kids play with its tail and play with its legs, and it's annoy it, and so it knows it doesn't like kids. But it likes adults and it's happy for adults to feed it, but not kids. And these animals have been taken in here by this elephant sanctuary to be looked after and to be kept well. One of these elephants was swapped for a tractor because the local people didn't want it anymore, and they couldn't look after it. So instead they got a tractor instead of the elephant. But historically, these were just tractors. They were looked after and they were cared for by people because they were very valuable and very useful on their farms. But as modern technology's progressed, they're no longer used. We've had so much fun here. They eat in a really strange way, and I'll show you some videos of them being fed in a minute as well. They have a really weird tongue, and they have different tastes as well. Some of them like watermelon, some of them like pineapple, and they're quite picky, some of these elephants. Hello.
Hello.
Oh,
Might you see my mum? She's older than you.
you're 67. Go on, pick your tongue out. You got it.
All right, this is watermelon. Oh, you got it. Well done. One more. One more. There you go. How are your teeth today? How are your teeth today? The eyes, when they look at you.
So we've fed the elephants. They've had a nice lunch, and they're free to wander wherever they want. This one here, Gigi, she's 42, and she's now come down to the river to have a splash around and being hosed off in water to cool down. It's about 40 degrees, well, it is 40 degrees today, so I think we all need a good old swim. Some of the older elephants here, there's one elephant that's 67 years old, who was no longer useful because she was too old. So she was given to the elephant sanctuary because she was too old. The other elephant was 29, and she was used previously in ceremonies and things like that. But during the COVID pandemic, there weren't any ceremonies, there wasn't any work for her, so the owners could no longer have a reason to afford to keep her, because they still have to provide 300 kilograms of food for the elephant every day. So they gave her to the elephant sanctuary here in return for some money, which they used to start up a little shop. So the owners wanted to look after this elephant still, but couldn't afford to, so they started up a shop and gave the elephant a home in this sanctuary where it's free to do whatever it wants, but it loves being looked after and splashed by tourists. So chaos has descended. Water's being thrown everywhere at the kids and at the elephants. And I want to show you something really interesting about one of these elephants. The elephant on the left is Homie, and she is 67 years old. And you'll notice that her sides stick out a little bit more. You can really see it on the left-hand side there. And I asked our tour guide, and he said, "What about that? Is she injured?" He said, "No, it's because she's older and the digestion works slower. So because the digestion works slower, she has more food inside her, and that's why her tummy sticks out more." And you can also see on her skin, you can also see more freckles, the one on the left compared to Pum Pum, the one on the right, who's only 29. And you can see the one on the left more freckles because it's a lot older, and her tummy is a lot bigger. As she said, that's just like us. As we get older, our tummies tend to get bigger too. So there's a couple of things I want to show you. Firstly, its eye, which I find absolutely amazing. If I zoom in on its eye, her lashes. And you can see it looking at you. It's quite spectacular. And the other thing was its tail. I don't know if it's going to be happy when you're going around here. Its tail has almost got like a little brush at the end of it. Nothing on here. If we look at its tail here, oh, it's just wagging it just for me. It's almost got like a little hairs coming off it. That's going to wag. It's not holding it still now. If you can see the hairs there coming off it. It's this little skinny tail coming down with this brush at the end of it. And the whole elephant is covered in these tiny little hairs, like a little fuzzy coat to it. And this one is Pum Pum. She is the one who doesn't like children, because previously they used to play with her tail and grab her legs and taunt her, so you don't go near her legs or her tail. And she knows if you're young. She can smell your age, we've been told. So if you're old and small, you're fine, but if you're young and small, you're not. I'm going to try and get a picture of her ear there. You can just about see a little hole in her ear where they'd put a tag on her, similar to what we do with cows. You might be able to see it just there at the top of her ear. And they'll put a tag to identify her, which seems cruel to us, but that's just what we do with farm animals in the UK. I guess what's really struck me with these elephants is how impressive they are. There's no way around it, they're ugly beasts, but they are so massive and so gentle, and they have their own little personalities. So there's Pum Pum, who can be quite aggressive and doesn't like watermelon, and the other ones do. And the way their keepers know them and look after them so well. Some elephant places you go to, it's quite sad, they get abused still, and they're chained up. Whereas it's so refreshing to be here and see these elephants free to go as they want. And we're just following them around and being part of their activities. So we've just watered the elephants down in the river and given them a good wash, and now they've wandered back out into the jungle. And I asked our guide about the men who were with them, and are they different people? And she said no, the elephants form a really strong bond with one person. And she said, for example, the last elephant they rescued, They sent 3 men to stay with that elephant and their family. And one of those men, the elephant got on really well with, and the other 2 not so much. So they knew these 3 men went to stay with this elephant, and their family looked after it, knowing that the elephant would choose one of them to be their keeper. And that's it, the elephant chose one person and didn't like the others as much, and followed that person around and waited for that. So that man got the job of being the elephant keeper. The other 2 men, I asked, what happened to them? I said, they still work here looking after the grounds and still work in the sanctuary, but not looking after the elephant, because the elephant chose one person and not the other 2.